that I am live. And I'm going to set up a couple of things that I think you guys might be interested in, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to wing this, because that's how I do things. I wing things. All right. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. There we are. There we are. Okay, cool. So, hey guys. I'm not in my studio, but I am home. Air conditioning blaring. It's a hot New York summer day, night, whatever. And so, you know, I am a person who believes in having portable gear to be able to do the kind of content that I like to do. So just to confirm, I'm going to go to Facebook and make sure that we are indeed live. And I'm also going to show you what I'm doing. So there's a lot of cool things that I'm using here. Oh, all right, so I'm live. Very good. And I will be able to see comments and that type of stuff. So if you guys join, feel free to write comments. So I'm using my smallest possible gear, which allows me to use something that fits literally in your pocket to stream this. And then, of course, my camera, which acts like a cameraman. So we're going to have a nice little quick, interesting, obviously you can see my light setup. So believe me, this is the world's smallest TV studio in your pocket. But what's also kind of cool is the other elements and things that I can do. I can invite guests, and so if people do end up chatting with me and wanting to join, they are more than free to do so, and I'll repeat that on occasion when people actually join in. I could multi-stream, but I'm not going to do that right now. And I'm actually using two products, two items, so I'll get into that as well. So one thing I'm going to show off is this. So here I can see that I'm live on Facebook, which is great. And I'm hoping that you guys can hear me. So you know what I'm going to do? I need to see that I can hear. Okay, great. So I can hear. That's perfect. That's exactly what I needed to know. Great. So now I know that I'm live. Everything's working fine. And we have, I'll try to do the best I can, a little demonstration of the gear that I'm using. But the other thing is I'm going to show you how I'm trying to do certain things. So I'm using a YOLO box, the Mini. The Mini is one of my favorites because it is so tiny, very, very, very small. And I'll do my best to kind of demonstrate it here. It is this small. This is it. So no computer needed, no special high-tech extravaganza gear. You don't have to know a lot of things. You literally just turn it on, you connect it to whatever services you're trying to stream to, and you're good to go. So it's perfect for schools, perfect for small home studios. Literally, I have my camera on a little tripod, I have my light and this device. And I can invite guests. I can have, oh, by the way, welcome to Shooting the Breeze. That's usually what I call these basic lives. And you're able to do, basic graphics. So lower thirds, overlays, you can do a lot, believe me. When you're doing a regular production, you can have your brand, you can have all that good stuff. And so I'm going to, you know what, I'm not going to get into this. So that's the Mini. This is this device right here. But the Ultra, which is the top of the line, 8 cameras, NDI support. I mean, it does a lot of things. And I'm actually using NDI on it right now. Now, what's cool is I'm taking the Ultra and I'm feeding it into my Mini so that you can see the features on that Ultra. So I'm going to show you the screen right now. I'm going to put myself in the corner. There we go. So now I'm in the corner. And you can see that I'm actually, my iPad, which is right here. Now I have a PTZ camera connected to it. Now that's one of the things that you're going to see this little thing right here should allow me to control the PTZ camera. Not today, because I did not connect the two, but you should be able to do that on a network. So the PTZ camera will be an option in terms of control, and there's other things you can do. Now here you can see is the bigger device. This is the Ultra, and I'm not going to zoom in, but actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you how I can zoom in. So using this one camera, the camera right here, and what you're looking at is the Ultra's interface. So I'm going to hit the gear, and I'm going to crop. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop the Ultra right here. I'm going to fit that to screen, and now it acts as another camera, which you can see right over here. There. All right. So check this out. So now you can see the Ultra. So I'm using the same camera. That's this camera. And you're going to see that I can zoom in and crop and just show, whatever I'm trying to show right here. So I got an HDMI in, which is the camera. That's the PTZ camera I have right there. And then I have another HDMI, which is going out, which is going to my Mini, which is right here. Now what's cool is I can do another crop. And then if I want to, if I move my little gear here, I can then show off the Mini. And I'm going to fit that to screen. So now I have the Mini right here. And then right here I have the Ultra. So all using one camera. So that's one of the cool things you can do with your Ultra, is you can do cropping, and you can have one camera, and you basically can have 2 or 3 guests. And if you have a nice high resolution camera, you're good. So here I have my iPad. So one of the things I was going to do is show off my iPad and get into some information relation to my business called Nexus. And what's cool is that you're able to see all that right here. So the way I'm connecting the iPad is a little different. Normally I have an USB out to HDMI and then plug that into, or even USB-C to USB-C. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. I decided to use NDI. So NDI is how I'm allowing this to work. Now, again, I am able to see comments, so if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to show you. So what does that mean? So that means that the iPad is wirelessly transmitting its screen to the YOLO box. And then I'm feeding the YOLO box to here. Now, here's another cool thing you can do. So I'm going to add, you'll notice on the top, well, hold on, let me prepare this correctly. There. So here, what's happening is I am using the Ultra, and I am streaming the Ultra to YOLO. Yes, I'm not streaming to the Facebook or anything like that. It's going to YOLO. And because I have the same account, I'm able to then receive that stream and use it as a camera on the Mini. Correct. It's mind-boggling. So if you have more than one YOLO box, they can actually stream to each other through the internet. And then one of them becomes your main streaming box, and the other is whatever you're doing. In other words, if I have this Ultra in Texas covering a conference, and I am here in New York, and I am trying to cover the event, I have the ability of having multiple cameras, 8 cameras or whatever, over there at the event, stream to the internet, but not to Facebook, YouTube, and all the other platforms. It's just streaming to YOLO in your account, where both boxes are on the account. And you'll notice on the very top, you can see the speeds on the top. You can see the kilobytes per second, the 30 frames a second, no drops, and you can see that it's live for 11 minutes. So what does that mean? That means that on the Mini and or the Ultra, they both can see that they're on the internet at the same time. And all those 8 cameras, whoever's controlling the Ultra can switch cameras and all that type of stuff. And I'll be able to receive that live stream, and I'm going to switch to the other camera. And it'll take about 4 seconds, but there will be a delay. But you'll see, and now you'll see that the camera is delayed. So you'll hear me, but you're going to see that I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, right? So long story short, you're able to produce a show where you can have, let's say, reporters on different locations with other Ultras or Minis or Pros. That's the name of the different products and the amount of cameras they can connect. And you can be on locations and produce content. So what does that mean? Let's just say this is at a high school sport or a professional sport. You have multiple cameras plugged into the Ultra. The guy who's transmitting is in the control room with the Mini. He's receiving the Ultra's feed, and the guy is talking on camera like I am, and he's able to then tap into the soccer game. Granted, there'll be a delay, so you might want to have the Ultra be the one receiving the main cameras, so that's all more live. And then what ends up happening? Now, the reason the color is so off is because this PTZ camera that I'm using, I did not color correct. I just plugged it in, turned it on right out of the box. So, there's adjustments that you can make to try and match the color. Now, so here you are, you're at a sporting event, and you can have a reporter on the field with a Mini on the internet, right? That's important. And I have other boxes and technology to do such a thing. And what they're going to be doing is streaming 1 or 2 cameras on the Mini. They can walk with it, right? And they have the camera. So I actually can set up a few setups where the camera and the device are on one handle. So a one-man show could do this. You can have multiple microphones so that we can handle that. What's great is that feed, if you decide to go to Joe on the field, maybe there's a timeout or maybe there's a halftime or whatever, they're able to converse on camera with the Mini. You're tapping into that Mini and getting the conversation while you're doing your breaks. Now, of course, if you have sponsorships and commercials and all that type of stuff, you can add that too. So let's just say I want to add a video. Now, I'm winging this because I do these things on the fly. So let's just, here, I'm going to do an Ozbot Tail commercial break. So I'll be right back. Now, this is not a real sponsor, but, we're just doing this as a supposed sponsor. Now, I did not select the audio, so give me a second. I'm going to add the audio for that video. Oh, well, I can't. So you can see here, this is going to be a commercial break. I'm able to, now I can choose to have the audio take over, but because this is not really a sponsor, but I do want you to get an understanding of what can be done. Now, very much like this is an Ozbot Tail. I did sell their product, but things changed, so we had to no longer offer it. But this is giving you an understanding that a product as simple as this can do some great, powerful things, such as do commercial breaks. You can do instant replays. You can do sporting events. I have some great products for sporting events where it's one camera, but it basically can do 8K video on a whole field, and then you control what you want to highlight, and it can follow the ball if you want to. Really powerful equipment. So one of the things that I've been really enjoying, hey, what's going on, Bobby? And what's going on, Robert? So how are you guys? I appreciate you stopping by. And sorry I didn't see your comments before. So again, you can do a sporting event, you can have multiple devices, and you can basically do a whole production with things that fit in your backpack. The Mini, which is what I'm currently using, that's what this is, fits in your pocket. You can put it in your back pocket, and then you can pull it out, hook up a camera to it. You can even hook up an iPhone, and then have that be your show. So really minimal gear, but you're always prepared to go live wherever you want. And that's kind of how I like to roll. Now, doing a home studio setup really quick like this, and then just having a light, or you can have a ring light or whatever. You can have instant studio wherever you choose. I even have a green screen folded up right now. I could have hung it behind me, and this can support green screen. So you're really able to do the same type of production anywhere at any time. And no one will ever know the difference with the exception of maybe your lighting. So that's kind of like something to consider. All right, so back to the Ultra. So they just had an update today, and let me put myself there on screen. So they came out with an update today. Today, the update is something like this, where you can control PTZ cameras. So PTZ cameras are pan, tilt, and zoom cameras. That allows you to then control your camera. Right now, this camera is doing it automatically. There's a lot of cameras to choose to do such a thing. But let's say you want to manually control the camera. You can use now the control on screen. So here it's going to ask for the IP address of the PTZ camera. I don't have one set up. But once that's set up, if I full screen this, you'll be able to see that this, if I scroll up, down, left, right, you're able to control the camera on screen while you're still seeing the preview of whatever you're producing. So very, very powerful on that respect. Again, if this device is, and let me get out of live. So this is the layout. You're able to switch cameras here. I'm able to go to my NDI, which it is now on my webpage for one of my businesses. And then here is the stream. So if that's the cameraman that's on the field, you're patching into this. So here I can now switch over to my PTZ camera, and now you're getting the feed without the controls and menus and stuff like that, like this, right? So this is the live feed that's being streamed back to YOLObox, which then I can tap into and use it as a camera. A whole other device as a camera. That's the coolness of it. And if the Ultra is on the field or hooked up to 8 other cameras, you can imagine the size of a production you could do. You do have a 4-second delay, but once you switch over to them, you're getting all their stuff in their real time, meaning the audio will be synced, the video will be synced, and so on. So you can do a very robust production that way. And you'd be surprised how many other production setups, they're going to have a delay too. So it's not something that's unique to the YOLO. It's something that just becomes an industry standard. How much of a delay there, you can then go into the settings and play around a little bit and stuff like that. So, so you guys are just having a conversation. Cool. Just chillaxing in the comments, live stream. Thank you. Cool. So now, one thing I was going to talk about is the webpage. So here, Nexus is one of my businesses. And let me do a setup here where I can also be on the camera. And let me put myself here in a little circle. So bear with me, guys. So this is just me setting up things in real time. So there. So now I'm back. So you can see how quickly I was able to do this little setup, because sometimes I just talk on the fly and then I try and prepare accordingly. All right. So my webpage, this is basically something that I've been building for a number of years. And the idea is, one of the conversations I've been having for many years is what the future of content is going to look like. And this is a big, big, big discussion. It's big because this is the next generation of entertainment. Something like this is just a segment. Now, if you hear the air conditioner, I do apologize. I don't think I have the ability of muffling the audio here. Yeah, I have that on the... Let me take a look. Yeah, okay. So if you hear the air conditioner, I do apologize. If I was on the Ultra, there is a noise gate where I can control some of that background sound. And if you want to see what that looks like, so you got mix minus capabilities here. Oh, hold on. I'm not showing you, am I? So let me quickly show you what that looks like. So here I'm on the audio settings of the YOLO. This is similar to the Mini. We have a very similar menu structure. Now let me show you without my face here. You have mix minus. What does that mean? Sometimes if I have a guest or something like that, a microphone's picking up another audio source, there's echo, there's all sorts of stuff. You can control and manipulate some of that stuff here. You can see that I can control the audio for the NDI, which is the iPad, for the HDMI camera, which I don't have on, and so on. The HDMI is the PTZ camera that I have hooked up here. That's this camera here. Now, from that camera, I have cropped. Right now, you see my iPad, and then you also have the Ultra here. Okay, so the future of content in terms of what I've been talking about. People are doing podcasts, people are doing YouTube, and it's been doing wonders in terms of how people can talk to you personally and monetize. But as you may know already, part of that monetization gets controlled by the platforms that you're streaming to. So for example, if YouTube changes the rule because advertisers don't want to support something relating to politics, they can basically remove the ability that you can get money from your content. Well, that's not really fair. We're here in the United States. You know, I know Twitter had some issues. I know other platforms have blocked a lot of content about, let's say, politics in general or other topics. Sometimes might be too raunchy, maybe they're talking too dirty, and advertisers sometimes want to be like, nah, not for us. But does that mean that your brand is not controlled by you? Does that mean that you don't have control of the content that you want to produce? The answer is, yeah, you don't really have full control of your business. That's where this comes into play. So what I'm doing, or what I have done, is build a platform, but not just any platform. The idea of what I've been building has been to independentize, basically allow you to democratize your content, allow you to control all aspects of your content from creation, which is why I sell the technology and the equipment. Let's say Bobby, who's here in the comments, has an idea to do a show. Well, I can offer him what kind of technologies can he use to create such a show, build a studio or build a mobile setup like this is. I could pick up this camera, walk around the whole 9 yards. The camera will still follow me. You see me do this outside with comments, the whole 9 yards. You can still be engaging. It doesn't change what you've been doing now. But what if you can just now also control your brand? You can control the platform that you're on. You can own the platform that you're on. And that's what Nexus is about. So Nexus is an OTT technology, very much like Netflix does and Hulu does and Amazon does and stuff like that. And there's plenty of other service providers out there. And I've analyzed a lot of these service providers. The key differences between what I'm doing and the other service providers is that the other service providers are just hosting video and then giving you an interface. I'm doing that too. Biggest difference though is that I'm also going to give you a chat room. You can do live. You can do live with chat. And we use AI, that big word. We use AI to help you simplify the process. So you go live like I'm right now. You have your interview, your conversation. You can use yellow boxes if you so choose. You can use vMix. You can use whatever you want. We even give you the option of using our Clyde-based production tools, which one day I'll show you those. That's really what took the most time, is television studio production tools for your own channel and platform, using professional high-end cameras if you so choose, or something as simple as a yellow box. And be able to have your entire production team if you're a television channel. Now this technology, there's platforms that are aimed at inexpensive content producers. And then there's those that are designed for Hulu and HBO and all that type of stuff. We're doing both. So part of my idea is to help enhance podcasters and do video podcasting and monetize it and control it and have audience and the whole 9 yards. And you can do it free or paywall or both. One of my clients that we've now had for a year has over 30 shows. They've been doing it since before 2015. Had tons, thousands and thousands and thousands of episodes in those 30 shows that they've been producing once a week for years. And we transferred all the videos into our platform. And they're using lives. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like. So here's their platform. We built this for them. You can see all their different shows. They can have whatever subject matter they want. It's their platform. They can do whatever they choose. And you can see right here, there's a red button called Live Now. And it's high society radio. If there's anything raunchy, I do apologize. I do not have control over their content. All right, so, well.
According to the source, Obama's hope was to get
all right, let me get this out of camera. So, all right. So I do apologize for that. Like I mentioned, they're very raunchy. And they have their own chat, completely independent. Whatever their audience wants to say and do, they have the choice to do as they please, and so on. So, I hope, they don't ban me for whatever was shown on screen. I do apologize again. But I wanted to be able to quickly show you what the possibilities are and what you're capable of doing. AI simplified. Well, the AI that we're using isn't like trying to be ChatGPT or anything like that. But the idea is they have a show, they can be live, they can talk about whatever the heck they want to talk about. We are in the United States, and they can be political or whatever other topics of conversation they want to get into. So they have their chat, the audience is engaging. These guys started when they got with me. They tried to do websites, they tried to do all sorts of ways of having all their videos on a platform, on a web page, and they failed all 5 times. They spent tons of money, but they were making money because they had the following. They had 20 million subscribers. But it was hard to keep that monetization going because, obviously whatever their conversations were, not many platforms were going to support it. So what we ended up doing is building it for them. You can see, let's see here. Let me quickly switch over here. All right, so here they're talking, they're having their conversation, their chat is going on, they're switching cameras, they're doing regular standard production stuff. And that's basically what I'm trying to show, is that you can create your content, your show, whatever it is you're trying to do, and have it be on a platform. So their homepage is here. You can see that they're talking about whatever they're talking about here. They have their live show schedule, so they do 4 or 5 shows a day, all the way including Saturday. They have their schedule. You can access all their shows. And this is what we can build for people. What's nice is then you can go into one. You can listen to their podcast on Apple or Spotify if you just want audio. But you can also then purchase stuff like that. Let me go into the deeper website. So here, if we go into one of their podcasts, you can watch that episode. And once that loads up, you can see all their years of content. So let's go back to 2018 and see all their episodes back then. And then you hit watch, and then you can watch the episode. So really, having the ability to have control over your own platforms. You can see here, it even shows what's next in terms of live. is what we're looking to do and help content creators become independent content producers where, what can I tell you? Let me think about other features that we've added. So you finish with your live. Your podcast is complete today. You hit end. The AI will take the audio and prepare it for all the different platforms of podcasts that you're connected to. So whether it's Apple iTunes or Google Podcasts or Spotify or dozens and dozens of other platforms worldwide, we automate the process. So the audio is nice from the video, and we take care of that for you. So instantaneously, all you're doing is creating the content with the freedom of creating the content. We give you the tools to be able to produce it all real time. And then you have the ability of just having video monetization and the audio monetization. So you're controlling all aspects of it in the most simplified tools possible. And that's what we built. So what does it look like when you're building your own? So let me get out of this. So here I have my little basic model I'm going to show you quickly. So this is my preview. So you'll see the Nexus logo in the top corner. This is a very basic template. And then here you can see that I have one of my podcasts for my show Garage. And what it's going to do is just play the podcast. So let me select here. We did a live production of music. So you're not going to hear the audio, but basically you're able to create whatever content it is that you do. You want to cover music, cover music. Want to cover sports, cover sports. You're able to do it on your own platform, let's say podcasts, sports, live, and so on. So here I just have a dummy content for live, but you'll see on the bottom, it says live. We have a little time code, and we're just showing off some of that stuff. So imagine if you're a content creator being able to do this. Now on the back end, we've given you simple tools. And I'm not going to do a full-blown demonstration, but you have your analytics. You can use Google Analytics. You can basically create the content the way you want to create it. You have live stream capabilities, the ability of putting advertisement. And we're also connected to some fast channels. So what I mean by fast channels is, let's say you don't have enough content. Let's say you've only developed 100 episodes, 200 episodes, 300 episodes. Well, is somebody going to build a platform that could cost a bit for only a small amount of episodes? Well, maybe not, but you're on your way. The idea for future of content, which is the statement that I like to use, is you start the way you normally would start. Do Facebook, do YouTube, that type of thing. Build up your audience, build up your content, get used to production. Use the tools that I can provide, or whatever you choose to use. Use your iPhone. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what you're talking about, the stories that you're telling, and who you're trying to touch, not physically. The idea really is, and I'm going to switch over to my camera because seeing myself in a tiny little box is just not enough. All right, just so I can be kind of personal with you guys. The idea being, you do what you do. You say what you say. You build what you build. And just like any business, you're taking a risk. Once you start building your following on whatever platform you're doing, YouTube, Facebook, both, LinkedIn, if you're building educational content, marketing content, training content, sporting content, a TV show, a cooking show. There's so much content that I've seen. Maybe it's a technology show, training show, technology show, showing cars. It's technically endless. Whatever you're an expert in, you can start today. I'll help you. I've done plenty of that kind of work since 1997. And even before that, I worked in film and television. So I have a bit of an experience. Now, by the time you get to this level, you have dozens of options. And when I'm advising you, I have lots of capabilities for you. So you have 300 episodes. It's not enough to build your own Netflix. So what we'll do is we'll have conversations with other platforms, such as Pluto TV, or Tubi, or Freevee. Those are all called fast channels. And fast channels basically look like cable. It's just 24 hours of content, back-to-back episodes. Well, imagine someone just likes your content, tunes into you, and is able to watch back-to-back episodes. Maybe you're interviewing celebrities or experts. People want to watch you back-to-back. Imagine if all of Gary Vee's content, you can just sit back and just let it roll. Sure, you can do that on YouTube. But if you're just able to go on Pluto, watch a comedy, and then say, you know what? I'm in the business mode right now. I'm going to tune into expert channel, your podcast or content, YouTube videos, whatever it is that you've created over time, can now be played and with ads that we will offer you. So another way of monetizing. I just noticed that this little fan is showing off here. I don't know why I got caught up with that. I just saw it in the corner of my eye. Now, this is cooling me down right now because it's warm out there. This is something that we saw online. I don't know if it was Amazon. I'm on a tangent right now. This lights up. So if you want to do content and you want to use this as, oh, sorry about that. If you want to use this as a little light and cool you down, they've built technology for just about everything. Anyway, again, went on a tangent there. So we're offering all those services, all those capabilities with advertisement. And now, if you're doing your own Netflix, then you may want to control your own advertising, and you're free to do so. And we have all the technology to place those ads. And there's lots of different ways to do those ads. You can have pay-per-view type shows. So we have a lot of ideas in terms of how we can use the live component of this technology. You can have movies and then do live components. There's just an endless amount of possibilities in the platform that we've built. So there's video on demand and and live with chat or without chat. We have modules so that you can build your platform to be custom to you and the needs and desires that you have in terms of controlling your content and that type of thing. So I'm hoping that some of this stuff is cool in terms of the thought process behind it. And it's, believe me, it took a lot of work to put all this together. Okay, so now I'm going to show so here, for example, here's where you can upload your videos. You can categorize them. You can do all sorts of stuff in relation to how you want to control your content. Then you have your live streaming set up. You can multi-stream, so you can also not only stream to your platform, but let's say to start building up that audience, you can also be streaming to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And then you might have, let's say, the first 20 minutes live on the social media platforms, but you're leading them to your channel. Then they can go to their smart TV or their phone app or their tablet app or their website, and then they'll be able to go and follow you or watch you and be live and interactive there too. So a lot of capabilities there. You can also build audiences. You can have campaigns, have product. Well, the products are going to be your content. There's just a lot of capabilities on the back end. So that I just want to kind of give a quick preview to all of that in terms of what kind of stuff we're offering. We offer the training so that you know how to use all these tools, and that's it. So that's one of the key features I wanted to show. But back to the YOLO and some of the features that they added, one of the key features they added was customization of this layout. So here, this is my second time seeing this. So you can add a source. So we're going to do one, right? And I can now modify. So this is that people use an eCam. So if you're an eCam user, this is going to make you be like, okay, now I'm interested in the YOLO box. I'm going to do a background. So I'm going to choose, I'll use this one as a background. So there. So now you can get an idea of what I'm actually doing. Okay, so now I'm going to add another source. So I'm going to have this camera here. Now keep in mind that you can invite guests, right? So you can send an email to someone and do like your little virtual Zoom call. And here, there we go. So now we do a little layout here. And I'm going to do, let's say, another one here. So there's that. So, and you can make it any shape that you want. If you notice on the bottom, you have tools to crop. So let's just say, for example, I want to crop this one. So we're going to crop it so that now it's even more cropped to that. And you can freeform it. So now I want to do it like so. So now I have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, put you down here. And now this is what I wanted to do here. So that's, and now I'm going to add one more just for the hell of it. I'm going to do a second one of that. And now there you are. Now, granted, it looks terrible, and I know that, but what I wanted to do is basically show what I'm talking about. Now I can take this one and move it back, right? Or I can move it forward. So you can have overlapping, you can control everything you want to control. Here, I can have the PTZ camera and control any aspect of it. Here's your delete button. So there's a lot of things you can do. Very, very, very powerful. Very, very, just very cool, right? Because you can do this type of stuff on eCam, but now you can do it here. And then I save that, and then I make that go live. So what's going to be crazy is what it looks like on live. So boom, this is what it looks like. Crazy. That's very crazy. So, all right, so we're still looking at that. So give me a second. Now we're going to do the live stream, and there. So this is what it looks like to the public. Right? Crazy. Like I said, it's crazy. Now, on the PTZ camera, you can zoom in. It comes with a remote control. You can zoom in, you can crop, you can adjust the colors, that type of stuff. The camera has all those tools, and the remote control allows you to do that. You can also do preset locations. So you can say, okay, well, person number one is in this location, so there's a little button that says number one. Person number two is going to be to the left of me, and you can crop to them, and you can press number two and locks that in. So now the camera itself, when you're going in number one, hit that, it zooms into me. Then press number two, it goes back to him. And while you're camera switching, you can have one camera do multiple things, and it becomes very, very cool. And all PTZ cameras have the capability. Thank you, Bobby. So I'm doing multiple technology demonstration here. It's probably a little bit heavy-handed, but when I get geeky, I get geeky, and those who follow me kind of already know that. So more things, let's say, for example, I'm going to go back to here. So that's one of the cool features. It is having multiple cameras and all that type of stuff. Then, of course, I got the PTZ capability. You can do multi-streaming. People already know that. You have your audio control capabilities here. Here you have your graphic layout. So another thing that they just added is the ability to have the time, the live time right there in the bottom, right there. There's different designs for that. So if I hit edit and I want to change it, actually, hold on. If I hit this plus sign, I go to time overlays. There's different layouts for that. So that's kind of cool. Of course, there's also, your standard graphic layouts. So this was when I did the music presentations. I had all the performers and their names already pre-prepared. So when they were on stage, I was able to just, present their name and that type of stuff. That's important. Then for some of them, I also had their social media. So I was able to show off, let's say, the location social media. the performers, just a lot of stuff. We had logos. We had, obviously, that's my logo there, live streaming master. What else can I show you? Of course, Garage, my podcast. You can have, visual. In fact, let me show you what that looks like to the stream, so you can get an idea of what the end result looks like. All right, so I'm going to switch to that. So this is what it looks like as I switch around. So you're going to see that in a moment. One of the artists also had his own logo, so we put that up there. The location itself had their own logo, so we put that up there. And so, as you can see, you can really, in a small device, especially if you're doing this on the bottom corner, we put the brand of the production company that had all the musicians perform, so that's in the bottom corner. So you can really go nuts in terms of the personalization of your content and basically what it means to produce content without a lot of cost to you. You don't have a big computer setup, a big layout. There is a new product. In fact, let me see if I can show you the new product. I don't have one here with me, but bear with me. No. Let's see. And I still have to add it to my website, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. There we go. So what this product does, and let me full screen that. All right, let's see what that looks like. So this is the YOLO deck for a YOLO box. So this will work on the Ultra. And what it's going to do is just like a Stream Deck, except it's designed specifically for the Ultra. Because you have so many cameras, so many layouts, everything I just showed you, and there's a lot more that I haven't shown you, simplifying it by just having a simple button to switch cameras, a simple button to put overlays, a simple button to just go live or record. I'm not recording this, but you can record onto the devices. The Ultra has another key feature, which I'm going to show you now, which is the ability of recording. So on the icon on the bottom, there is a record icon. So I'm going to select that. And you'll notice that I have the ability of recording at 1080. You can see HDMI and NDI 1 and program. So what does that mean? It basically means that I can record not only the show with all the layers and graphics and all that type of stuff, but I can also record the individual cameras, raw video file, no overlays, no graphics, no nothing, because maybe what I did live is not how I want to have a final product. So what does that mean? It means then you can take the raw video files, put it into Final Cut or whatever editor you have, CapCut, etc., and then re-edit the show. But all the audio, everything's synced up, and all you have to do is edit. Camera 1, camera 2, camera... And then you have a new production of the same show, but now you can do whatever other extra things you want to do. Maybe you didn't have ads, but now you do have ads. You can add that in your edit, and then you can release that to wherever you want to release it to. So, again, small production tools. Now, granted, I don't only sell the YOLO box, but they do everything that the other tools do, and I don't have to worry about crashing my computer or using the computer for multiple purposes and so on. So it's exciting to see what the possibilities are in respect of what can you produce with a small machine that also is battery powered, so I can be doing this whole production right now in a park. I can be doing this whole production at a cafe. I can take this mini. Let me see if I can quickly switch over to that. So I can take this mini right here. This is it. This is what this is what you're watching. This little production tool. This is the tiny little production tool I'm using to do everything you're seeing here. And imagine taking that to a cafe and meeting up with some expert, some business person, whatever, the camera I'm using is tiny, but even if I didn't have this camera, I have OBSBot, tiny little cameras, totally fits in your bag, your pocket, whatever. Plug it in, HDMI, USB. It's going to be USB, right into the device, and now the camera that you're seeing here is plugged into USB. So you're able to just have the flexibility of doing anything, however you want, whenever you want. You create the rules. That is the future of content. Even today, we discussed a brand new show. Can't give you the ideas of the show, but it's been in the waters for a little bit of time. And just imagine just having a quick idea, something that's simply produced, something that doesn't require like 10, 15 people in your crew. You can say, you know what, I want to interview the best chefs in New York and be able to just go to their restaurant, literally stream real time, have engagement, have questions, all that type of stuff. You're not surrounded by people or crew. Even now, I have a wireless mic attached to me. Now, in my studio, I have a 6, microphone mixer and sound effects and the whole 9 yards, but you don't need all that. Even here, I can have, actually, my portable mixer, my Zoom H8, works perfectly fine. Plug it into here, and now we have sound effects, multiple professional microphone capabilities. But here I'm using a wireless mic. So you can do wireless mics where you can have 2 microphones, one for you, one for the person you're interviewing. Boom, done. So I hope this little package, which again, completely off the cuff as usual, I will create some professional content explaining all this to the corporations that I'll be producing this or introducing this to. We will be doing some podcasts with the engineers that have helped me develop the tools and what the future of what we're building will be. So I'm hoping that some of this will be enticing to some of you. I know I'm here on Facebook. This is probably the worst platform to even talk about half this stuff. But I know I have a lot of followers, and some of them are in the entertainment industry. Some of them are content creators. And I thought, you know what? Let me chat about it. Let me kind of show it off a little bit. And I really, really love what they've been doing with the YOLO box, which has become like my favorite tool of all time to do all this type of stuff, with all the stuff that they're producing. And I'm just impressed and amazed that they were able to do all this in such a tiny box. Even right now, this is on battery. Also, the Mini is on battery. I'm not plugged in. It's just the 2 HDMI, well, 1 USB camera, which is what you're seeing, and the HDMI, which is the yellow box itself, which is how you're seeing what you're seeing right now, the interface. Here, I can choose which cameras I want to record. I can record 4K. I think with 4K, you can only do 1 camera. So that's kind of weird. But, processing power limitations. There we go. I guess you can do 2K. And then you got 1080, so you can do all 3 there. And then, of course, it varies on how you can do like 5 cameras and that type of stuff. Okay, I think that kind of, I think that's it. I think I'm done speaking. Those of you who have been chatting, thank you so much. Bobby, Robert, I really appreciate you guys just kind of tagging along, whether it's for support or just because you're hanging out, chilling. You saw, oh, somebody I know is chatting. I appreciate you. And I will be starting to do my podcast. I've been saying that for some time. The studio is there. We have everything. All the tools are in place. I have a studio. Oh, my God. But, life has had some hiccups, and now I'm just trying to take a deep breath and move forward. So all this stuff, as an entrepreneur, I can honestly say it's not easy. It's not easy having a vision. It's not easy. Thank you, Robert. It's not easy. Little backstory. I hope it's not too boring. So obviously, many of you know I was married and so on. And I'm not going to talk about the marriage. But what I will talk about is that afterwards, it was tough. You know, we know that divorce rates are high. We know that the economy has been bad. We know that content has been moving in all these directions. We know that AI has been coming into the, conversation. So many changes have occurred since I even got divorced. A lot of the ideas that I've been building here, I've been working on since before the divorce. In fact, when I first started going live, back in 1997, I understood that this would be the pathway. The idea started back then when I thought, oops, we're too soon. We started building some of this stuff too soon. I'm going to turn off this fan that's been blowing in my face. There we go. So what's cool about this fan, again, on a tangent, is also completely portable. I'm very much in love with battery-powered things. So let me turn off the light too. Although it has a million different colors, but there. And it folds up into this tiny little thing. This is the whole fan. But it stands like 4 feet. So now I just extended it. Anyway, just again, I'm a geek. I love gadgets and so on. So getting divorced is kind of like a big, big loss. It's almost like losing a life. You know, you care for someone and so on. And there's a mourning period. And that slowed down a lot of stuff. But then I moved on. I moved here to New York. And then more life things. A year ago, almost to the day, about a week ago, my father passed away. Whew. That's a biggie. For him not to be able to see anything that I've been building and see what the whole idea was. Because, parents, they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with yourself? Well, it's hard to explain all this techno stuff. It's hard to explain, well, you see, Dad, you have a smart TV now. We've progressed. And now content can be put on your television without having to go through broadcast networks and satellite dishes and so on. It's hard to get into all that. But he asked, and we'd converse and so on. And, I love my dad. So now I'm here with my mom. I can't leave her by herself. So I'm here making sure that she's well. It's hard to juggle this epic thing I have in mind and juggle life as well. And I have my child as well. So there's a lot of love. There's a lot of support. So I'm not complaining about that. And I'm fortunate to have a roof over my head. But at the same time, I'm not going to stop this dream. And being able to constantly come live and show it off and being able to say, hey, look, this is the progress. And hopefully have other people be like, you know what? I want to use that. Or, you know what? I've been stuck on YouTube and I hit every wall. You know what? My community, Facebook keeps changing the rules. You know what? Ads are not supporting me. You know what? I only get a small cut of the ad revenue. That's why I built all this. Because I hear all that. And if you've seen me do the interviews with celebrities, it's another conversation. You know what? As a Latino, I'm not very supported. I can't get as many parts as my counterparts because I'm Black, I'm Latino, I'm Asian, I'm something other than what they want. But I still want to make movies. I still want to make TV shows. But I'm limited to Netflix and Amazon and Hulu. And why should we be limited? But at the same time, the alternatives are these other tools that are half-assed, half-baked. So I wanted to build something to kind of be a solution to all those, conversations that I've had. And so here I am. But life still hits you. So there's lots of rocks and mountains and hills and stuff to go over. And as an entrepreneur, whatever the business is, you know it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult, whether it's the economy, whether if it was COVID. Boy, that was a big one. But COVID inspired me even more. Why? I did a show called Let's Get to Know Each Other Live. Granted, I used the abbreviation and it looked like LGBT, blah, 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 and it wasn't. It was just the abbreviation of Let's Get to Know Each Other Live. Where I thought, you know what? I have a lot of followers, not necessarily friends, but followers. And I never got to know a majority of them. So I thought, well, if everybody's home worldwide at the same time, let's go live and see who I can meet. Come on camera. Now, the YOLO box allows for you to have, guests. So as an example, oops, not there. Let me quickly show you what that even looks like while I'm talking about it. And I'm tapping on my microphone, I apologize. So here at the bottom, because if you didn't know, you see that little icon with two people? If I click on that and I activate allow participants to join, I can invite guests and I send email invites. And then they get the invite with a link. And next thing you know, they become a camera. So, very much like, let's say, StreamYard, Zoom, whatever. So there, just in case you didn't know that you could do that. Even with the Mini, you could do that. In fact, there's only one device out of all their devices that didn't do that. I guess if you've noticed that I have not been live very often, it's because behind the scenes, all this stuff can kick your butt. From the technology, to the hiccups of the technology, to the competition, to what it costs to even introduce it to the world, to the marketing, to coming up with strategies. Being an entrepreneur is like, wow. But if I'm going to use all this energy, this is how I'm going to use it. Now, why? Well, I just mentioned. Last year, I lost my high school best friend after my father passed away. Weeks before my father passed away, a close local friend also passed away. Now, he passed away in the basement. His mother found him. Who knows how long he had been passed. My father passed from falling down the steps from a doctor's appointment. And my best friend passed away, possibly from a heart attack. And he was found days later at his dining room table, possibly eating something. And no one knew he was there. The way it affected me was each one of these people had some type of ambition. My dad, he got old, he couldn't pursue some of his dreams. 2 weeks before my best friend died, we were on the phone and he was talking about how he wanted to start a publishing company. He was an amazing illustrator. We had done plenty of projects together. He never got to start. And here I am realizing, wow, I do have access to a lot of stuff, a lot of technology, a lot of relationships that I've built over time. So I thought to myself, I don't want to die not having tried. So yeah, life is kicking me up in the butt. But I can tell you doing this has been exciting, exhausting. It's a lot of work, especially at night when it's quieter and I can focus, even though I'm tired. But I wanted to at least explain to you why I just kind of disappeared. But I can tell you, if you go to livestreamingmaster.com, you'll see some of the stuff I've been working on. That's all. So if you want to build a studio or start, strategize, conceptualize, know what tools you need. Not all tools do the same thing. And sometimes you can start at a much lower budget than you thought. I want to help people's dreams come true, including my own. Anyway, that's it. We're ending it there. Have a great night, everybody. And if this is a replay for you, thank you for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And no, I don't monetize this content, so I don't do this for money. But I hope the fact that you're seeing this and the way that you're seeing it makes you realize, you know what, I can do that. Because you can. And if you want to see what tools can make you do it better, I'm more than happy to help you. Talk to you soon. Take care. Have a wonderful day, or night, or morning, somewhere in the world that you're in.